Rogue tier, we still winning. Magic card, oh, we extending. Dark Law, he still contending. Sunrise, your lights in it.
Yugi peoples, welcome to the Be a Better Hero Player Isolde Hero deck profile. So this month, pretty much, or you could say this season of Master Duel, as well as in the Duelist Cup, I use my Isolde Hero deck for all the climbing, all the replays, and just the different things that we went over. So this is pretty much my build and how it ended up looking towards the end of the season as we got into the Duelist Cup and everything. This will be pretty easy, shorter deck profile because like the whole picture will just be up on the screen the whole time and I don't have to like shuffle through and go through different cards. But y'all pretty much seen my TCG Isolde Hero deck profile, and this is where that deck like originated from. Was on Master Duel. It came from here. I ended up making it in real life, and it actually ended up being pretty decently. And now it kind of like evolved into a Scythe lock with Apollouse, which is like pretty effective these days. All right, so here we go. You'll see first of all, because I am running crossout designator in here, you'll see a lot of one or mostly two of hand traps off in here. So that's the one effect Veiler, mostly so that I can cross it out if so need be. Then also one Renaud, very, very important in this deck. That card is so good with Isolde. It's basically like a free extender. So yeah, a lot of my combo like revolves around this card right here. So good. Then his counterpart, 3 Fire Flint Ladies, because as long as I have a warrior on board, I can special summon her from hand, and I can use her effect to also special summon heroes from my hand, such as Vion or Shadow Mist, for the most part, to be able to get their effect and then still be able to make a Soul Day, go into my plays from there after I add mass change or do whatever it is that I'm gonna do. So 3 of those, free extender, good card. 2 maxis. I cut it down from 3 just because like it was always getting crossed out or called by the grave, and then there are a lot of decks that just don't care about maxi, that such as what is it, Eldritch and Flundery. So I cut it down to 2. I didn't feel like it was as effective or just as important to run it at 3 anymore. Then 2 Ghost Ogre, which I actually kind of found more effective than Maxi like most of the time, because a lot of people aren't running this card, not using it. So it rarely ever got crossed out, but it's good in Flunder. You can destroy the field spell depending on what monsters and stuff they drop when they're trying to, get 2 monsters on the board to tribute. If they didn't add another monster to summon off of Rabina, you can hit one of them to keep them from having 2 monsters on the board to tribute. So it can be pretty good. It's good against any deck playing the adventure engine. You just go ahead and hit that faithful to cut off a lot of those plays. So yeah, I really like the Ghost Ogre. Then 3 Ash. I felt like, this card is necessary at 3 to counter all the maxis that you're going to play against, to counter, Flunder when they're not able to chain block. And Ash is just one of those cards that's, pretty universally good against any deck that you play against. So yeah, 3 of those, most important hand trap in my opinion. Then we got the One Denier, of course. This is like I hardly ever use this effect turn 1. This is kind of like my turn 2 follow-up play that allows me to climb into Access Code Talker, climb into Unicorn, and be able to make those plays. So that's pretty much what he's there for. Only 1 Stratos needed for this deck, because basically the only thing you would use him for is to add Vion. So he's basically just there to add Vion. Vion is like one of the main combo starter for this deck, probably one of the best, probably like the best normal summon for heroes, period. So, and then the best normal summon in heroes, 3 Vion. This card easily sets you up for combo, whether you already have a Destiny hero in hand, you need to add the poly, or in some situations where you don't have an extender because you didn't draw a Hero Lives, or you didn't draw Fire Flint Lady or Durando or something, or you can't get an extender on board, he is a 1 card combo by himself. And I'll kind of go over that when we reach one of the other cards that we're going to talk about. 1 Shadow Mist. Like sometimes I'm going to send it off of Vion to be able to add You know, if I can go the poly route that way, if I already have an extender to make the Isolde. If not, you know, there are some times where I just special summon him off of a hero live so that I can get the mass change that he provides. You know, he's only needed at one inside of this deck because, you know, I feel like getting it turn two, you know, I'm probably not going to use it. Pretty much turn two, I'm using Denier. So I don't feel like I need it. Then the Destiny Hero draw hand, very important card for the combo because you want him to resurrect from the grave so that you can use that mass change on him to bring out the Dark Law to keep the Scythe from getting hit with drip. So yeah, it's really, really good. Very important part of the combo. That way you can use your whole board to make Apollouse and still be able to make Dark Law on your opponent's turn. Then Scythe, of course, the card that, you know, one of those cards that's unfair in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, unfortunately in Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now, if you play fair, you're probably not winning too many games. So, you know, we're going to play unfair too. I found a way to incorporate this into my hero deck, and, you know, it works out just fine. You get to Isolde, you can get to him, you can trigger the Dagda effect and, you know, get that Scythe set. We're still using DPE, and then you can use Dark Law to keep him from getting hit with the drip. So yeah. Then of course, one of the most important heroes, no matter how you look at it, we got two Mally. You know, it kind of sucks to draw two of them, but hey, he's really needed. Great extender, great for the combo. Really big in my turn two, you know, the link climb with Denier. So yeah. And then one card that y'all haven't really seen me play in a long time, the Honest Neos. I had to add this off in there as another target for Fusion Destiny or Polymerization because there is a combo where, like, since Verte is still in Master Duel, and sometimes I don't have an extender with Vion, I can still go Vion, send Mally, do not banish him to add the Polymerization, but I can go ahead and just, you know, use him to make Isolde, do, you know, Isolde into Renaud and Isolde to make Dagda, and then Dagda and the card that I bring back with Living Fossil to make Verte, and then Verte is able to send the Denier and the Honest Neos to the graveyard to, you know, make the DPE, or if you have the mass change, you're sending the Honest Neos and the draw hand to the graveyard. So, you know, I had to add another target off in there, you know, a level 6 or high hero monster, and he just seemed like the best one. You know, he can also protect Dark Laws. Sometimes he can help me get over like that big Ignister monster, or just like any big old monster, or, you know, and sometimes when I just want to hit my opponent directly in the face for 5,000, you know, to win games, then they don't always see it coming. So yeah, so he's back off in there. I hate drawing a card sometimes, but, you know, he's kind of needed. That way I can have that Mally Vion play. Then, of course, one Polymerization. It's not as needed as much in this as it is needed in the regular TCG because we can just make Verte on Master Duel. So yeah. Then one Rhoda, of course, you know, it can add Renaud, it can add Fire Flint Lady, it can add Vion, just like any of those. 3 Hero Lives, you know, that's my free extender. When it doesn't get ashed, you know, I can either special summon Stratos to go get Vion or special summon Shadow Mist to go get that mass change. Then 2 Fusion Destiny, which this will be going down to 1. I'll probably replace it with Pot of Prosperity. So I can, you know, kind of get there a little bit easier. And yeah, 2 Fusion Destinies. Y'all know what that card does. Basically, if I draw it, I can do some other things with my Vion instead of going to go search for Poly and, you know, adding the Destiny Hero monsters to my hand. So yeah. Then Living Fossil. Yep, y'all know that card. It's like my main combo piece, you know, with Isolde. And then we got the one Infernoble Arms Durandal, you know, the card that allows me to search for Fire Flint Lady. It's also like a second equipped target for Isolde. You know, that Fire Flint Lady can be good for, you know, special summoning out Vion or special summoning out Shadow Mist. And she's really, really good when you use her effect because then your opponent cannot target it with card effects this turn. So, you know, you can't get impermed, you know, can't get effect veilered, or Ghost Ogred or any of those things, you know. So it's pretty good, you know, when you use her effect to bring one of them out. Then, of course, 3 mass chains so that we can get to that Dark Law to turn off the Forbidden Drip. Also, you know, if we choose to activate Draw Hands effect to draw during the standby phase, we also get that free banish off of there. And, you know, there are some games where I just do it, you know, kind of flexing, and you might hit something crazy. I'll hit like Kaiju, Lightning Storm, evenly matched, just like it's so good. Random vanish, and then plus I get a card for free, so it's all good. Then of course, 2 Call by the Grave, stop all those hand traps. Double Crossout Designator. I was running 1 at one point. I went ahead and bumped it up to 2. That way I can cross out. But it's gonna end up going back down to 1 now. So yeah, it sucks that you can't do that anymore. But it is what it is. Maybe put like another imperm or something off into to replace that crossout. Then 2 imperms. I really like this card. I really wish. Well, like now I probably am gonna end up running 3 inside of here because this is one of the few cards that's you know, a hand trap that can't be hit with Called by the Grave. So yeah, and it's also one of the hand traps that you can draw as your 6th card and still for it to be playable and usable. I really like Imperm a lot. Then for the extra deck, we got 2 Mass Hero Dark Law, really effective in Master Duel. It hits so many decks. Then of course 1 Mass Hero Blast, because sometimes we need to bounce back row, or sometimes we need to mass change Stratos off the board in order to make sure that we get his pop effect. Then 1 Destiny Hero Dangerous, you know, in certain instances this can be a combo starter. So yeah, I have that off in there just in case sometimes. Then of course DPE, you know, part of that carry. You know, he's there to do what he do. 1 Babushka for those plays where I'm getting like ashed or hand trapped, and I still have my 2 level 4s on the board to go ahead and make Babushka. And then Zeus to go, you know, Babushka attack. He can't be destroyed while he's in attack position. He can't be destroyed by card effects. So, you know, he's really effective to make Zeus sometimes when you need to. Then we have Isolde, Heart and Soul of this deck. Then 1 Cross Crusader, because sometimes my opponent likes to, you know, super poly or kaiju off my DPE, and we can just use Cross Crusader to bring him back. Then 1 Cross Sheep. Sometimes this is needed to special summon the Shadow Mist out of the graveyard to go get mass change, or sometimes you might want to, you know, use it on follow-up turn to special summon back out Renaud to grab an equip card again. You know, he's just really good at what he does. Sometimes you're using it to special summon out Stratos to go ahead and destroy back row with Stratos' effect. You know, it's just pretty good. You know, one of the reasons to make sure that whenever, you know, you're placing your fusion monster on the board, to either put it in the middle column or the 2 outside columns, to make sure that if you do end up using Cross Sheep, he is pointing to that fusion monster. Then Artifact Dagda, of course, our Artifact Scythe enabler. Verte, you know, broken link monster, 2 effect monsters equals DPE. And then, you know, like the way my combo goes, it easily made right after I use Dagda's effect. Then the Unicorn, my link 3 for link climbing, plus he can get rid of troublesome cards, you know, by sending them back to the deck, or, you know, wherever he needs to send them back to. Then Apollouse, usually she ends up with 3 negates with my main combo. She's really good to have on the board because like Scythe doesn't necessarily hit every deck. You know, of course, I'm pretty much referring to Flunder, you know, or what's the other one? Draco, whatever that deck is. But yeah, she can also hit those cards. You know, she's there for those cards that Scythe can't really like hit, you know, for those decks that Scythe doesn't really hit. You know, it's really nice to be able to have a 3 negate Apollouse and a Scythe lock on the board. You know, it's kind of crazy. And then, of course, access code talker, we link climb into that to, you know, Oak TK our opponent, you know, using Denier and Mally to, you know, link climb up like that is really effective, you know, and it just works out so good. So that's my deck profile. It's 41 cards in the main deck. You know, that 41st card is probably like the effect Veiler that I added off in there, you know, with the upcoming ban list, you know, taking out the cross out, taking out the Fusion Destiny, probably replace that one with Pot of Prosperity and end up playing 40 cards, or, you know, still play 41 and add in that extra Imperm. So that is the deck profile. If you're interested in combos, you can just pretty much check out my test hand video that I did with my, TCG version of this deck. And they're pretty much, the combos are pretty much the same, except on Master Duel, like I said, you have that extra combo where you can just send Mally, then banish Mally to special summon him, and then use Vion and Mally to make Isolde, link climb from there. Because at the end of the combo, after you've used Dagda to set the Scythe, the monster that you bring back with Living Fossil, you can use Dagda and that Living Fossil lifed monster to make Verte, and then Verte, do your little thing with Honest Neos and either deny or draw hand, depending on whether you have mass change or not. So yeah, that's the deck profile. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Next season I probably won't be playing Isolde Heroes. We're gonna try out going second heroes and see how it goes. And if that doesn't exactly work out, then I'll probably play. I haven't played Dark Angel Hero, so we might try that out and see how it goes. So yeah. Appreciate everybody for watching. And actually, there's another deck that I want to do. They released some of the cards for the deck, and they didn't release all of them. But if they release the rest of the cards for that deck, that is definitely something we're going to try out at some point. So hopefully they release them pretty soon so I can show y'all that deck idea, and we'll see how that goes. So once again, appreciate y'all for all the likes, subscribe, comments, all the love that I get from the hero community out there, and appreciate y'all for staying a while to listen.
Stay a while.